Hello, I'm your host, DP Piglin, and today I'm going to basically give you the ultimate guide to Gorilla Tag that I could basically make for you in today's video. I will be showing you the basics of Gorilla Tag, a couple of skills that I feel like you're going to need to do well in the game, and also how to use the cosmetics and how to purchase them, which there's going to be lots of cosmetics added to the game, so I'm not going to go over every single cosmetic. But I'm going to go over some fits that you may like or not as well in that. So yeah, this video is not going to be in chapters, but if it does end up being in chapters, that's because I did a bunch of editing on it. If it doesn't, then just try to search for the point where I'm either in city for cosmetics, which is the really gray area, or in forest if you're trying to learn how to do the movement. Anyways, yeah. Let's do this. Alright, so I'm in first person view for this. So you can see I got my arms here like this. So basically, to move, in case you don't know how to move, you do not want to move like this. Do not move with both arms.
Both arms separately to move.
You want to use both of your arms separately. Just like your arms IRL, you don't use both of your arms to pick up your phone, you know? Use one phone to move. So not one phone to move. Use one controller to move. So just place your arm on the ground and pull forwards a little bit. And you repeat that step until you get the hang of the movement. Let me know if this helps, because I just hope it does. Anyways, the next step is now that you know how to walk, we're gonna do running. Alright, so the movement with both your arms separately is important for all these skills, so you're gonna need to use that. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, okay, I might have to edit this video a little bit because I am very tired right now. It's 7 in the morning, but it's not like really early in the morning, it's just really like before midnight. Anyways, so what you want to do to move faster is you basically want to just stripe. Like, you want to kind of like pull your arm towards you for the movement. One arm down, push or pull. Just keep doing that over and over again. The way I do it, basically just IRL, you want to go from having your arm curled like a fist to down. You basically do that. Yeah, there you go. Like that. So, yeah. That helps any. Go from a curled muscle fist to all the way down to your hip. You can do that, and if that helps you, then awesome. You don't need to make a fist every single time you do it, though. It just helps for noobs. I just figured that might help because that may make it so you could actually start getting faster around. You just repeat it several times, but just pick up the pace to move faster. Alright, now that you know how to move fast, we're gonna explain some jukes. There's two ways of juking. One is hitting off of walls. And two, these jukes are for later in the video, but I might as well teach you these now. So after you learn how to do the more important skills, these are really easy for you to do. So let's just start with a simple tree juke. Eventually, you're going to learn how to do something called a bear climb. I like to call it that, where you basically just do this at the wall. I'm still somewhat bad at it. As you can see, I'm not a complete pro at it, but I can still do it. All you really need to do, though, is just do a part of the bear climb and then hit off. Most people know that, though, so sometimes you want to trick them by doing two and then hitting off. Yeah, but when you hit off, You want to just get really near the tree to get a really far boost away from them. Another way you can juke them is using something called a hospital flip, which I'm going to teach you how to do now. Basically how to do this is, the easiest way to learn is through the slide. Pretty sure they made the slide bigger, it used to be easier, but basically, just put your arm here, and I'm going to put the camera right here, put it into selfie mode, so you guys can see how my arms move while I do it. Basically, you just go like this, in slow-mo, and then you push. Here's what it looks like in first person, in case that helps. Like that. And by push, I mean just kind of get a circular motion, kind of learn that, because kind of need that a little bit to do that. It's kind of complicated to do a hospital flip, but you basically just curve underneath what you're trying to do and then push off. Yeah, I'll just show you a different perspective of what it looks like when someone does this. For someone else watching someone else. Or you watching someone else. That's what it looks like when you do it. That helps that much at all. Alright, here we go. We're going to go on to the somewhat harder things. Here we go. This is called a pinch climb. I struggled so much with this, so I know you are going to too. To start with the pinch climb, you basically hug it, but you don't want to like hug it though, because if you actually hug it, you're just gonna do this. What you want to do is kind of act like you have a piece of wood between your hands, basically. So like this. See? Like this. And then what you want to do is push your arm downwards. You want to have them up high. Well, you also need to look up, so it's easier. It might look scary, but trust me, that's how you do this. Look up, then push upwards and grab again. Push and grab the wood. Push, grab the wood. Repeatedly do that until you get to the very top. And once you get better at it, you can speed it up. However, I will recommend trying to do it fast at first, because that might actually help you to do it easier. I'm going to show you what it looks like when someone else does it from afar. See? So that's pinch climbing. That's the next skill. Next skill is going to be wall running. The easiest wall, I would say, to learn wall running is death wall. We call this death wall because when you get very top, there's a very hard juke you can do, or really hard skill. So it's more of the pro side of things. So yeah, we're going to go on to that later in the video when you get a little bit better than you. So next part, wall running. Wall running, basically, you want to kind of just follow along the wall. You want to kind of have your arm, the best way I wall run, just kind of pat the wall like this. It's kind of a circular motion too. However, when you do circular motion, it's way worse. So it's kind of just a diagonal arrow like this. Like this. I'll probably draw a picture here. I'll put it right here in editing. Show you what kind of direction I'm doing. You want to do that up the wall. Sometimes you want to make it this way, like kind of a little more curved upwards. That. But yeah, both of those ways work. But either way, while you do it, you need to follow the wall. Because following the wall, the rest of the stuff I said was confusing. Following the wall and patting against the wall is the more simpler way to do it. You just want to kind of move your body with it too as you go against the wall. That may help you to get better at this skill. I'm still somewhat bad at it, but that's just because I do it really fast. When you do things faster, sometimes it makes things easier, which is basically how I learned how to wall run. Here's me doing it fast. don't know if you saw that entire thing, but I'm going to show you first person what it looks like. Like that. So yeah, that's how you wall run. Hopefully that was summed up enough to make it not confusing for you. If it was, ask me what was confusing in the comments, and I will try to make a short form video to make that less confusing for you guys. Also, I'm going to start making shorts about how to do things separately as well to make them really more short and simpler. They're less complicated. Alright, next skill is scaling. Scaling is actually a somewhat good skill that you'll need to learn. Scaling, you kind of just want to follow the... Okay. There's not really much to say about this, except for you need to learn bear climbing a little bit first. Bear climbing, the best way to test it is on this tree or on the double walls just facing one wall. I'll do the double walls facing one wall. Basically, how you do this is you would climb like a bear. It's basically how you explain it. You know how you move your like the strife across the ground? The hoppy bounces when I do that? You don't want to be kind of hoppy. You want to just upwards. That helps on it. Just upwards. But you want to use both your hands, otherwise you won't get very far. Bear climbing, this is what it looks like when someone bear climbs. Okay, yeah, this is not a very good example because I'm still not that good at this skill. Because most of the time I fail this. I still need work on this skill, but you only need to learn how to get off like almost half or a third of the wall of this double wall or a tree to say that you are pretty good at bear climbing. You should be able to move on to the next step. This next step is scaling or skill. The next skill is scaling. Scaling is basically bear climbing plus moving off the branches to get speed. This skill is very easy to do fast, but a little difficult to do slower. So what you basically want to do is get a good jump off the ground, push up with one arm, go to a different branch, then jump to another branch if you can. And grab that branch, then push off and hit off the wall to get onto another branch. And if you need to, scaling can also use pinch climbing to get to the tree faster. If that helps you, pinch climbing. Just don't do it a whole lot because sometimes you get stuck like I did. I'm not going to show you how scaling would work. It is the easiest to learn scaling is on the biggest tree, I would say, because all the other trees are somewhat small, but if you need to, you can practice on any other tree. And you just basically bear climb, bear climb, bear climb, then pinch. Pinching is easier to do at the very top of the tree though, or near the very top of the tree. So here's what it looks like in me first person doing it very fast. Sometimes you can also like reach over to get up the tree faster as well. Like that. See, that was very fast. I don't know if you saw my arms though, so I'm gonna do it again. Like that. Do not look down while doing this, because for some people, having height fears is kind of hard for playing Gorilla Tag. Honestly, I used to have height fears, but once I realized this is a game, not real life, it looks like real life, but it isn't. That helped me a lot with my height scares. Next skill, wall jumping. You ever heard of Super Mario Bros? You've always heard of this skill. People call it different things in this game, but I call it a wall jump because that's just how you simply call it. Basically, it looks like this. There's all sorts of ways you can do that. For example, number one, if you look at Mario and try to mimic what he does, first you need to get a jump off the ground, then push off this wall. You'll stick a little bit. Then you push off again, but try to get a little bit of height with a diagonal arrow this way if you want to go to the right, and a diagonal arrow this way if you want to go to the left. So basically like this. This skill is specifically helpful for double walls and tutorial double walls, which I cannot show you right now because tutorial is blocked off for me since I've already done the tutorial. Anyways, yeah. I hope that helps for your wall jumping and stuff, you know. Basically, I call it wall jumping because of Super Mario. It's super simple, super easy. Alright, now that you know these skills, hopefully you can do this now. Branching. Branching is basically moving, but just trying to find something called a route. You can watch other people's videos for routes, or you can follow mine. And this is the simple route that I follow. Sometimes you can go up this, just jump over this. Sometimes those gumdrops won't be there, but during the winter, while you're watching this, it will be there. You can follow this area. You can either jump down to that, or over there into the treehouse. If you go over there, you can just scale up the tree, head off, and find another branch to go off to. There is basically infinite possibilities for routes. I'm just going to show you the route that I do in very fast pace. Branching is basically just jumping across branch to branch. That is the easiest way to explain it. Okay? You go from a branch, from one tree to another branch on another tree. That is branching for you. For the easiest way to explain it. However, I am just showing you some random route I made up right now. So, if you want to, you can follow this route. May or may not be helpful. Also, scaling is important for branching as well, which is why I taught you how to do it first. And then after that, if you want to, you can hit off double walls. It helps for me to get over to this branch. But if you jump to that tree and jump back here, it works the same. And then you can wrap it back up by going over these lights. And then take the fun part of this route, where you jump from that branch to that branch to that branch to this branch. Jump up here and over to here. You need a lot of jumpy jumps for this. And then it'll go over here, and then you can jump off and get to stump. And also, for this route, you can also go ahead and do it in a circle. Alright, this next segment is city. I will show you some fashion styles I might like. Or you may like. Not I may like, because I always use this fit I'm using. There is lots of combos you can have in Gorilla Tag Cosmetics. Also, sometimes, a quick note, City can be laggy sometimes, and it can also be lagging on my recording. So if you're seeing frame rates go down, that's why, because City is very laggy this season. Probably because of the absurd amount of Christmas lights. Anyways, yeah. The main fit you want to go for mainly is either you can do these type of combos. If you want to, you can get that big fat forehead, but I wouldn't get it unless you really like the cosmetic. You can get the belt for 1,000 shiny rocks. That'll take 5 days of saving if you're new, because you start with 500. Or you could get the sweat headband, which is worth 500, so you should be able to get this. Do not get this, because if you get this cosmetic, people are going to hate on you for no reason. So don't get the party hat. If you already have, I'm sorry, it's too late for you. You're going to have to wait 5 days to get the bandana. Not the bandana, the sweatband. Also, another good choice for a cosmetic is these headphones. They're worth 20 days of saving shiny rocks, but if you're just starting off and you have 500 shiny rocks in your account, then that'll take 15 days of waiting. This is 5 days of waiting after getting your shiny rocks that you start off with. It's a pretty good choice for a cosmetic. I think it looks nice. Also, this bow tie is a pretty good choice for a first cosmetic as well. There's basically 3 first cosmetics you can do. Either party hat, sweatband, or the tie. Those are some pretty good starter choices. Personally, I would either choose the sweatband or the bow tie. I would choose the bow tie if you're not really a comp person, and the sweatband if you're getting really good at the game. The next cosmetics you could choose is the top hat. I personally like the top hat because Jamoich, it fits him really well, and also the top hat is just cool. Also, if you do like cooking, you can get the chef hats. This would take 15 days of waiting. I think Now this would take 20 days of waiting since yeah, 20 days of waiting to get that. This would take 50 days of waiting if you want that. This would take 10 days of waiting. This would take 50 days of waiting, and if you want the rest of the spiritware, you might have to do the rest of your math in your head. This 50, this not 50. This would be 5 days, 15 days, 5 days. I'm just saying these amount of days it would take to save shiny rocks from your starter account. 15 days, 5 days, 5 days, and for this, 5 days. Now your fits are completely up to you of how you like your style, because I did my own fit based off how nice or flashy the cosmetics look. These are not the only cosmetics, because as you can see over here, there's a bunch of festive and stuff over here. The thing I like about bundles is you can get specific pieces of armor, but the rest of the stuff in case you want it. But I still find it kind of dumb because you get the rest of the cosmetics, you can't buy them separately. Unless you go up to cosmetics like this, which are just separate ones. And I'll just leave the math to you to do because it's going to take way too long for me to do all this math. But if you're planning on getting like a holdable, those are usually 5,000 shiny rocks, which would take 45 days of saving up for one cosmetic. And usually these don't stay around for too long. Usually if it's the start of the month and you get an update, then you're only going to have 30 days of saving until it possibly goes away, or 29. So yeah, be careful about that. Personally, here's some fits I like. Okay, I'm gonna speed go and collect these real quick. Oh yeah, also there's a bunch of free badges over here. Depending on your gender you go off of, you can get these 3 free ones there, along with the ones that are not free, which are worth 1,000, so 50 days of waiting if you want a badge, if it's that you have 500 shiny rocks in your bundle. But anyways, back to me getting a good fit. Alright, this is a pretty good fit. You wouldn't have the glowing eyes, so yeah. You'd basically have the normal gorilla look, and you wouldn't have this badge. But the scarf and the headphones is a pretty good combo. Ignore the fact that I had the monkey badge on by accident. Another good outfit is the top hat and the bow tie. Really fits the gentleman aesthetic if you're going for that. But also, if you're looking for like an actual suit of gentleman, you're gonna want to look for the launch day flashback, because there's a cosmetic there, which basically is the suit of the bow tie. So if you're looking to complete that set, then yeah, you're gonna want to find that cosmetic. You're gonna have to wait for the specific update to come out for that. The next fit that I like is the chef hat just by itself, with a white color code. It's pretty good because, you know, if you're a chef IRL, then this makes sense to wear. Although I would say it kind of feels out of place because, you know, it feels like something out of a cartoon. But if that's your style, then that's completely fine. If you're a cowboy or you like cowboy aesthetics, then the cowboy hat and the mountains badge, or your not mountains, canyons badge, is the fit that you'll like. You can use any color code you want. As for Starboy used green, but you can use any color code you like to mix and match with these. That's how I helped to find my color code. My color code is 555 in case you want to use it. My original one was 444. It's kind of a darker kind of gray. But if you want my color code, it's 555 if you're looking for a gray. Because, yeah. Also, the bow tie with the earphones is pretty good. But I kind of like this with the headphones. You can mix and match with these badges. You can also buy whatever badge you really like, the favorite map of yours, and mix and match with all those kind of things. Also, if you want to, you can buy the bundles. Most of the bundles are really overpriced though, but I mean, if you want to get them, you can get them. For example, this is the newest bundle. It's gonna go away probably after Christmas. It's the Nutcracker bundle. You can press the B button on your controller and the back trigger, not the very back trigger, but the trigger before the back trigger, to launch the walnuts. And it basically just looks like a nutcracker, which you'd see in Christmas movies. Just blue. Next thing is the J-Man Curly Fits. If you like J-Man Curly's videos, you can get this. However, I will say it's a little overpriced because it doesn't give you 10,000 shiny rocks. All the rest of them do. But I mean, hey, you got this yellow tape, so that's pretty cool. You do not get the early access badge with it, though. That's a badge that is specifically to OG players. And I thought my controller almost died, so that sucked. Anyways, yeah, basically, yellow tape. You get yellow tape with this. And if you're a fan of J-Man Curly's videos, then I recommend you getting this cosmetic. Just saying it's a little overpriced J-Man. Please put it at 30 bucks. Next thing is this overpriced bundle. This only gives you 1,000 shiny rocks, but on the plus side you get this cool armor. The armor, it is like 45 bucks, 50 bucks. Pretty absurd for a bundle, but I'm telling you right now, it's a better price than the when you used to get it, which was literally an entire Quest headset just to get this bundle. Yeah, it was pretty absurd. But that's beside the point now. So yeah. Okay. Next cosmetic thing. I will also say this, if you're trying to build a really good build, or you want to buy a cosmetic, you go up to the cosmetic and put it in your cart by selecting it, and then it's put in your cart and you can select it in the mirror. But also, if you want to buy it because you like it and you tried it on the mirror, it's really laggy for me in City, so I'm sorry if I'm moving slow. You would just select it, and then you click that would be yes, that would be no. You click yes, and then you click, are you sure? It would say, are you sure you want to get this item? And then you'd say yes, and then you'd own the item if you really want to get an item. So basically, I'll give you some tips for building fits. If you don't like the standard ones, trying to find like festive related fits is also cool. See, this is a cool fit too. I mean, this hat reminds me of Anthony GT, or if you're trying to look if you have like the Black Eyes cosmetic, which is from the K's revamp, because the K's revamp, I know it's pretty insane that it's like that, but it was a revamp originally, which is probably why it's probably a revamp. It's gonna appear in the revamp area, where most of the cool cosmetics come, because they were from the original updates. Basically, you can build with any sort of cosmetics you like. See, I got these gloves here, but I already gloves on, so it looks kind of weird. But yeah, because sometimes in the mirror, your cosmetics can glitch out. See, if you have more cosmetics that weren't originally in the mirror, then that can happen. Personally, you can have the Santa Claus hat with this scarf. I think that looks pretty good. Also, the scarf with this hat. You can mix and match all sorts of colors, like I said. See what your heart desires in cosmetics. Also, this might look cool for a cosmetic bundle. This, not a bundle, a cosmetic combo. The top hat and this shirt. It all depends on your taste, though. So if you don't like how a certain fit looks, that's completely fine. Just do not judge others, okay? Because certain people like certain fits. Alright? That's basically everything to do with cosmetics in the forest. Also, I do like these Christmas lights, because lights are cool. And yeah, I own this because I spent money on a bundle. So yeah. My dad kind of got me the bundle for that, so yeah. Most of the time I gotta ask my dad stuff too. So if you want to get something Gorilla Tag, most of the time you gotta ask your mom or dad for the, you know, their money, so you can buy the stuff. Or if you want to, you can save up Shiny Rocks, which is the longer way of doing it, which I personally like because your parents don't get angry at you, and also you'll get rewarded over time with your Shiny Rocks. Every day you get 100 Shiny Rocks, which is why I was doing the math in my head earlier. If you hate math, then you're basically just going to have to wait as many days as it takes for you to get your certain cosmetic. If you don't get it and the update goes away, that's because it ran out of time. If you can see up here, the current holidays thing, the most recent thing, is going away in 15 days. And the holiday flashback, this is where the flashbacks are, will go away in 16 days. The day goes down by every day. Gorilla Tag updates it. So yeah, this is most of the recent stuff. City didn't used to be like this, but this is the most modern city that we have right now. I'm just trying to get you guys used to it. Also, this is for ranked, which is why mine's silver. You would start off with bronze. Over here is the recording studio. If you're a YouTuber or you like making Gorilla Tag videos, you start liking the game. You can prop up your camera in selfie mode. You can do interviews if you want to. You can do just chat videos, Q&As, all sorts of stuff. I personally like this black couch. Just as a comfy couch. Just feels like it would be a comfy couch. Also, look at this. This is just vibes. Look at all that snow. And it's not a lot, but it's like the perfect amount of snow that you could just stare out the window and look at it. Also, if you want to get the bundles, there's also certain areas where you can find them. J-Man Curly's right now is in his shop, but you can also put them on in the mirror. And also, don't listen to Saba or whatever when he says that there's free cosmetics in this area. There isn't. Trust me, I have all these cosmetics. I own them. You had to buy them to have them up here, which is dumb, but it's how it is. The last thing I have to tell you about is Virtual Stump. There's two ways to get to it. First is you go into the arcade and go to the machines that look like the virtual headset. And the second way is right near the entrance of Stump, so I'm going to cut and go there right now. This is the Virtual Stump thing. If you put your head up to it, it starts counting down, and when it gets to 0, you enter Virtual Stump. This is where most custom maps like YouTubers use. So also, some of these custom maps can help you learn the game, so please feel free to use those if it helps you. And yeah, also for noobs, if you really need to, you can use Infection in a private lobby to get better at the game. That's often how I did it before. But if you want to challenge yourself, then put it in casual and go into a private lobby by yourself with the current information you have on the game. And hopefully you do well. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to show you some cool custom maps that I recommend. There's some nice maps here. I personally recommend Escalation. Yes, the cosmetics for YouTube videos. Spire of Heck, if you want a challenge. It's a basically chained together kind of mix. Ski leveling, if you like skiing. It'll just be harder in Gorilla Tag. Monkey Up and Escalation are somewhat the same, so if you like only Up and you want to try it in Gorilla Tag, then I recommend those. My favorites personally are some horror games, and then the OG maps. It says OG City, OG Forest, and OG Clouds. Those are the ones I have favorited. Because those are now gone. Those are what they used to look like. So if you want to see what Old City looks like, you can go and check it out here. But you'll have to find it in the All tab by searching down, by clicking the down arrow. There's all sorts of maps. A lot of these are fun, so yeah. You get a general look of what the map will be by the thumbnail. So yeah. There's going to be a lot of challenging maps and also just fun minigame maps. That's what most people do. Minigame maps, challenging maps, or comp maps. So yeah, hopefully this helped you with the guide. But if I wanted to recommend some specific maps, Jamoige's Space Games, if you're looking to try to get good at the game, familiar with ice physics, try the Space Games. It's awesome. However, it's going to be harder to find now. See, the Space Games, made by Jamoige. I knew this guy when he had 3,000 subscribers, so cool for me. But yeah, I'll show you what that looks like, but I'm going to need to favorite it again because it just reset it for me, which is really dumb. You all have to wait for the map to load because it'll have a percentage there. Then you can walk in and test out the map. For the Space Games, you walk into these orbs to go to the different planets. They're all different, so yeah. One is a minigame map, which is the giant green orb. The others are just a test of abilities. By the way, go subscribe to Jamoige. This should be not reversed for you, so subscribe to him. He's amazing. And also he recently updated this, so that's pretty cool too. And when custom maps were new, he got 3rd place for custom maps, so I'm honestly proud of him. Good for him. But yeah, Space Games, personally, one of my favorite maps. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks for watching. I hope you had a good one. And if you want to get good at ice physics, there's 2 places to go: Space Games or to mountains. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. And go subscribe to Jamoige and subscribe to me if you want to, because I made this guide. If it helps you out, then please consider liking the video. And have a good one. This is a long video, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it helped you. Peace. Have a good one. If you believe in God, God bless you. And even if you don't, still God bless you anyway, because God loves you. Peace.